What's up, guys? I'm KBHD here, and just got back from sunny California, where we spent some time with possibly the busiest man alive, Elon Musk. But he was super generous with his time, and we did this sort of a sit-down chat at the Tesla factory, and then also did a sort of a factory tour, which will be a separate video coming soon. But a ton of things we could have talked about. Since we were at Tesla at that time, basically our topics ranged from talking about Tesla products to our love for Tesla to tech and the future, all wrapped into one. So this is that chat. Thanks for watching. Enjoy.
All right.
First of all, thanks for taking the time, sitting down. I'm on your very busy schedule, I'm sure.
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Welcome.
This is a really interesting place to be. We're kind of in like a bird's eye view of seeing a couple different things happening behind us in the factory. These occasionally move, which is cool.
Those are empty door carriers. So they would have carried the doors to cars to get assembled, and then they're on their way back to pick up some more doors.
Nice. So I think most people know you as the boss, the face of Tesla, the decision maker. For those who, just for some context, how do you spend time at Tesla? What do you do?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think probably a lot of people don't realize I'm like basically just in the factory in design or engineering meetings or production. So that's like 80-90% of the time. I think sometimes people think I spend a lot of time on Twitter.
Sure.
I don't know why they would think that. That's crazy. But actually, that's like almost nothing. Most of my time is spent, well, at least in the last several months, especially going around the factory, and then working on, say, the paint shop, the body shop where we weld up the body, the final assembly where we put all the parts together, and then if I'm not here, I'm at the Gigafactory in Nevada.
Okay, so P100D owner, undefeated in stoplight races for a while now. Rich over here in audio.
Hey.
Model 3 pre-order,
Okay.
waiting for his, and Brandon behind the camera also waiting for Model 3.
Okay. What version are you waiting for?
Long range.
Long range?
Long range.
Long range, and what color?
Oh, okay. That is a good combo.
I got blue rear wheel drive.
Nice.
Okay.
Silver.
Cool.
So my question is, how, aside from making great products, how do you get people excited about Tesla? There's a lot of people I know and that I talk to who are just intrigued and interested and excited about Tesla as a company.
The thing that we really focus on at Tesla is like we really put all of our money into and attention into trying to make the product as compelling as possible. So, because I think that really the way to sell any product is through word of mouth. So if somebody gets the car, they really like it, and actually the key is like to have a product that people will love. Yeah. And generally people, if they're at a party or talking to friends or whatever, you'll talk about the things that you love. But if you just like something, it's okay. You're not going to care that much. But if you
get
love
the reactions from the highs and the lows,
yeah,
so you got to make sure people really love
you're gonna talk, and then that'll generate word of mouth. And that's basically how our sales have grown. Like we don't spend any money on advertising or endorsements or so anyone like buys our car, they just bought it because they like the car, and it's genuine. No discounts. Like I actually even pay full retail price for my own cars.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we're really focused on trying to make the cars more affordable, which is really tough. Like in order to make the cars affordable, you really you need high volume. So you need economies of scale. And because the other car companies make a lot more cars than we do, they got way better economies of scale. So as we're gradually able to build up and do more cars, higher volume, then we can build them for progressively like less money, and then make the cars available to wide range of people. But it's super, honestly, like the car industry is like super competitive. It's like insanely competitive.
So as far, I think I read a really interesting, or I think I heard it actually from an earnings call, but something interesting you said is one of the top 5 most frequent trade-ins for Model 3 is a Prius, right?
Yeah.
Which starts at, $20-something thousand, and they obviously have massive economies of scale. Do you think there's room? I mean, Tesla has Model 3, Model S, and Roadster and up. Is there room for possibly an even less expensive quality electric car experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in order for us to get to, like, let's say ultimately getting to like a $25,000 car. That's something we could do, but it's probably, if we really work really hard, I think maybe we could do that in 3 years.
Does it come with time and scale, or just?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Yeah, because like the key to making things affordable is like designing. It's like design and technology improvements as well as scale. So if you think of like say phones, like the earliest cell phones, like I don't know if you remember, I'm probably like dating myself here, but like the original Wall Street. Where the guy's like walking down the beach and he's got like the
it's like on a
giant phone.
He's carrying on like a briefcase kind of thing. They're massive. Yeah.
Like massive phone.
Yeah.
And like all it could do is phone.
Yep. Yep.
And like had like 30 minutes of battery life and that kind of thing. Now, at that time, in the absence of technology improvements, like no amount of money, no amount of scale could have made that phone affordable. That'd be a lot of engineering iterations, a lot of design iterations. And we're probably, I don't know, on the 30th version of a cell phone. And with each successive design iteration, you can add more capability, you can design, you can integrate more things, you figure out better ways to produce it. So it actually gets better and cheaper, but it's like a natural progression of any new technology that it takes multiple versions and large volume in order to make it affordable.
Gotcha. Is there anything in the near future of Tesla that you're really excited about?
Yeah, there's a lot of things actually. I mean, we've got definitely way more product ideas than we have resources to execute. We were just talking about this with my team, just like, hey guys, what should we focus on? And now in the past, we've only done one car at a time. But as we go into the future, we've got to like basically figure out how to walk and chew gum. So it's like, okay, how do we do two products at the same time, but still have enough resources that both products are great?
Right. And
so we're gonna try to do, two products. One of them for sure is like the Model Y, sort of compact SUV, comparable price point to the Model 3. Then there's the Semi, the pickup truck, and the next gen Roadster.
Yeah.
Like, a next gen Roadster is kind of like dessert.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah. It's super exciting, but it's like, and I think there's definitely some value to doing it to show that an electric car can be faster than a gasoline car in every way.
Yes.
So I think there's like, because there's still this sort of like a halo effect of the gasoline sports cars, because like in terms of top speed, they still have the best top speed.
Yeah. So that halo effect that I was basically every metric possible seems like really ambitious. Like there's a lot of things that people like me kind of accept that, like I love my electric car, but I know it's not going to put down lap times 30 laps in just because there's restrictions.
We got to work on that. Yeah. In fact, I was actually, I was just talking to the team. I was like, I think we got some headroom there.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about track mode?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I had a very short experience with track mode with Model 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously Roadster is going to be, that halo car. And if we're confident it's going to be an amazing car, I hope it's that car to beat, essentially.
Yeah.
But then bringing track mode down to Model 3 brings that fun experience to a lot more people, that higher volume.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, we're like basically a bunch of nerds here. So obviously, I don't know what gave it away.
Yeah.
But so for track mode, we want to open up a lot of settings. So like you can adjust settings, and it's kind of like an expert user mode. And you can sort of adjust traction control, adjust like battery temperature, brake. Like you can basically configure a bunch of things, and it will tell you like, hey, if you do this, it's a bit risky. Like you're gonna wear out your brakes a little sooner. It's like you might blow a circuit. But like it'll be clear, like this is the risk that you're taking.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you have a graphics card on your computer, you can like go in there and you can change the settings and you can like overclock things.
Yeah.
And like but
So it's going to be all of that will be in track mode, and you'll be able to see that and mess with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool, and you can like try different things and.
Word.
It'd be fun.
A little more on Roadster. Because I made a video about it just after the event. I was sad I couldn't be there, but I'm a day one deposit because I was that excited.
Okay.
But I was wondering after you made that announcement, one, you said, I think I quote, plenty of space. What does that mean?
Oh, you mean it won't be cramped inside. Like basically, if you're a tall dude, you'll be able to sit in there.
How tall are you?
6'1.5".
Okay, so I feel like if you're comfortable in there, a lot of people will be.
Yeah, and then like my brother's 6'4".
And is he comfortable in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Franz is like 6'3". I don't know. He's pretty tall.
And then my other question was the side mirrors. This has been a theme in the past with prototypes and cars that we've seen before they come out. They don't have mirrors. Regulatory, they have to have mirrors. Is there an advantage to not having mirrors, or is is it just aerodynamic, or is there more to it?
Now it's actually surprisingly how the mirrors, particularly at high speeds, can have quite a big effect on the drag of a car. They're like little air brakes, basically. Like typical car side mirrors reduce a highway range by around 5%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. You can see in a wind tunnel, like you can see, when you see like those sort of smoke trails in the wind tunnel, you can see just how much. Yeah, they're just like air brakes. To be aerodynamic, you actually want kind of like a teardrop shape. So it's like it doesn't end in like a bluff,
right?
Because it creates a low pressure zone behind the mirror, and so you'd have to like have a kind of almost like a cone behind the mirror, or blend it with the body or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like they're actually surprisingly draggy. Now, a manufacturer is required to have side view mirrors, but I believe that the owner is not. Like I think you're like.
Okay.
You can modify things, like at least in the U.S. you can, if you, the owner can modify things.
The rule is about manufacturing, not driving.
Very much about manufacturers are very tightly constrained.
Okay.
And it's actually one of the things that makes it very hard to make a car that looks good and has a good performance and aerodynamics and everything, because there's like you got all these constraints and there's so many rules you need to follow. So it's very challenging to make a car look good.
My other question about Roadster, the specs are insane. They're ludicrous, some might say.
Yeah.
So the Plaid, even.
The only thing beyond ludicrous is Plaid.
So 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds, but more importantly, I was interested in is the 200 kilowatt hour battery and the 600 plus mile range. Are these numbers assuming an improvement in available technology by 2020? Or are they something you can achieve now but don't have the manufacturing capacity to, or is it somewhere in between?
Yeah, so think of it like basically it's like two Model S P100 packs.
Yeah.
But you're really just doubling the internals, the cells inside. So there's like a lot of stuff that's related to the pack and the packaging and the safety and all that sort of stuff that is not related to the cells. So you can double the number of modules inside, and but it would still be like maybe an 80% increase in the volume of the packs. Like the floor would get 4 or 5 inches higher if it was current technology. So, but we think we'll probably get another maybe 20%, 10, at least 10, maybe 20% improvement, because we'll use, the thing about like an expensive car is we can use the state-of-the-art, the most advanced equipment. Like, it's kind of like with computers, like they've come out with a new like graphics card or CPU. It's like initially it's expensive, and so, but then over time that price drops down. And people like wonder, is it like, do you have like automation? Do you have people? It's like we have both. You know, it's just like a cyborg, but like integrated cyborg thing.
Yeah.
Actually, like one of the biggest constraints for us is like being able to hire enough people.
That was what I was going to ask. So like,
and
there's
parking,
a lot
parking,
of
man, parking.
there's a lot of parking here.
Yeah.
You have a lot of robots and a lot of people in the factory. What do people do that robots can't do? And obviously, there's a lot that robots can do as far as lifting and moving things. But as far as precision, maybe there's things they can do that humans can't do. Do you have a ratio off the top of your head, maybe, as far as people versus machines?
You know, it varies massively depending upon what part of the production process.
Right.
So some parts of it are like 80 to 90% automated, and then some parts of it are like only 10 to 20% automated.
What are those parts that humans do better than?
Humans are really good at adaptation and rapid evolution, and like doing like little like finicky things like that. like for general assembly, like one of the mistakes we made that was like pretty big mistake was trying to automate general assembly, which is where you put the parts together. You know, so like some of the things, it's like trying to connect a hose that's like sort of dangling around.
I see.
And then you got like the robot's like got to find the hose, grab it, like then connect it to another hose.
At that point,
It's like really hard.
Yeah.
Like a person can just go, oh, done.
gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's like when you see it, it's like, wow, it's super obvious.
Word.
And then we try to have robots do this, and it's like robots like grabbing the wrong thing and like trying to stick it over here, and then like, oh, the hose was here when the robot thought it was here, and so now it like tries to grab air and then like smashes into the car. It's like
You don't want that.
it was a comedy
Yeah.
of errors, tragedy of errors. Like personally, you can say like this thing needs to connect to that thing, and then however they arrive, the person can figure it out.
The robot would be.
The robot would be like, ah.
Yeah, gotcha. And then as far as Tesla's overall master plan is what it was originally called. So you start with the low volume, high price Roadster, then you move on Model S, higher volume, lower price, to Model 3. As far as I know, that's where the master plan ended.
Yeah, that was like part one. Yeah,
Part one.
We had Model X in there, which that was definitely an exercise in hubris. Now the X is an amazing car, and it's like, but it's like we kind of got carried away with the art.
I hear it's very difficult to make.
Yeah, we got carried away with the art and technology. It's like obviously you want great art, you want great technology, but we did get a little distracted from our mission, which is to like advance the cause of electric vehicles, and it probably delayed us a little bit with the Model 3 as well.
So I guess my last question in here would be, just as far as the Tesla master plan, part one coming to an end, is it now just a matter of steering the ship towards new opportunities? You see, there's not a lot of companies making a $35,000 electric car and a $250,000 supercar and a semi-truck and doing them all really well.
Right.
Do you guys see yourself just keeping a tight ship and picking your choices here and there?
Yeah, that's why what I was saying earlier, like it's a tough strategic call between focus and like wanting to do a bunch of different models. Like I think we want to try doing two at the same time. Like so we've only ever done one at the same time before. Do two, and then if we if we're good with that, then we could just try doing three at a time. Like a lot of the other manufacturers, they'll do like 12 at a time.
Yeah.
So they're way bigger than us.
Word. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck with it, and
All right.
thanks for taking the time to sit down.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Cool.
Appreciate it.